All right, so last week wasn't great.
We expect toughness out of here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying.
I
hate you.
damn! Be playing this game anymore.
But shooters shoot, and we will bounce back. We've got a sponsor. We've already got winners. We've got money in the bank and 8 more plays for Sunday for the rest of week 8 of the NFL season. Let's go. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Uncle Dan's Best Bets here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. And breaking news, we have a sponsor for Uncle Dan's Best Bets, proudly brought to you by Incognito Menswear. Happy to have a sponsor on board. Happy to welcome them. Great place to get suits, all your men's clothing. It's where I'm going, so you should too. Awesome to be a part of them. So again, shout out to Incognito Menswear. Happy to have them a part of the Uncle Dan Best Bets brand. We really appreciate it because we look towards the future. Last week, not great. Not great at all.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
I said I didn't necessarily love the board, but we were going to take chances. We took 10 chances and we only won 2 of our bets. For the record, the Detroit Lions blacklisted. They are done. For the foreseeable future, we are not betting on the Detroit Lions. Did you know that the Detroit Lions are 14-3 against the spread in their last 17 games? I think I have hammered them on those 3 games that they have lost. So they are done. But again, we look towards the future. I've already got winners for you. If you follow me on Twitter at Dan Fates, I've already handed out 2 winners and was half a point away from sweeping Thursday Night Football. I'm not scared. Sometimes you're the bug. Sometimes you're the windshield. Last week we were the windshield. Last week we were the bug. This week we will be the windshield. We have 8 more plays for the rest of Sunday for the week 8 of the NFL season. If you weren't following along on Twitter, I had the Bills money line parlayed with the over of 42.5. That didn't hit. But I also took the Khalil Shakir over 19.5 receiving yards. That hit. I also took Dalton Kincaid's over receiving yards as well. Shakir was the team high receiver for the Bills. I figured somebody else had to get involved in that offense. And Josh Allen spread the ball around. It looked like the Bills offense of old. So already 2-1 on the week. And like I said, 8 more plays for this week. And I'm going to be honest with you. I love the card this week. I love it. I love it. I feel like I got a really good feel. And I feel like we have now reached the part of the season where the public has won their money and they've won their plays. I think this is time where the sharps, not that I consider us sharps, but I think we get back on track. All right. So I got 8 more plays. Let's get into them. And let me just say this. I love my best bet this week. Love my best bet this week. Can't stress it enough. Already locked it. I may throw more money on it, depending on how this goes. But let's see. All right. 8 plays. First one. Old reliable. Dolphins. Team total over 28.5 at home against New England. Now, in the 3 games that Miami has played at home, they have scored 70, 34, and 31 points. No, 70, 42, and 31 points. And this was a game against Carolina they scored the last time they played at home, where they turned the ball over and they were down 14-0 and then just rattled off 42 points to hit the team total over for us. Then they turned the ball over a bunch against the Giants, still scored 31 points. And then obviously the home game against Denver where they scored 70. I don't think New England is that good. The Bills played pretty poorly against them and still was able to put up 25 points on them. I understand that Tyreek Hill may be injured, things like that. He says he just wants attention. Shocking. I just think at home in the heat, it's supposed to be like 80 plus degrees again. You know, the New England sideline is going to be baking. They don't have Judon. The Bills just played horribly against them, still scored 25 points. Love this Dolphins offense even more. They get to come home. They've talked about how much they love coming home. Tyreek Hill saying they just like to play catch there with their families. I like the Dolphins. I don't think it's a stretch to say they score 30 points against a New England team that has given up 30 plus points to teams like Dallas. They gave up 30 plus points to the Saints. They're not that great of a defense as to what they showed against the Bills. Love the Dolphins team total over 28.5. Rest of the games, moving on. Steelers +2 versus the Jags. My reasoning behind it, Mike Tomlin as a dog at home. Let's move on. Don't think anything more of that. Jags are really good. Steelers, I'm still not sure about it, but it's Mike Tomlin at home. Don't think, just do it. Next game. For as much as I love taking coaches and systems and coaches as underdogs at home in certain spots, I can't do it here. I think the Titans are tanking. I think the Titans are starting to lose some of that locker room. They're already starting to trade away players. Ryan Tannehill is out. There's rumors about Derrick Henry being traded. I think the Falcons may be good. From smarter people than me, Desmond Ritter's playing, he doesn't turn the ball over. They should have beat the Bucs by a lot more than what they did. 3 fumbles inside the red zone, 2 of them kind of fluky. But I think they may be good. Their defense is playing at a really high level. The Titans are going with Will Levis, the rookie quarterback. I just don't think they're very good. I know they're coming off a bye, but Vrabel was at New England. I just don't like the vibes going on in Tennessee. For as much as normally in this spot, we take the Titans plus the points at home as an underdog, I'm not going to do it. I think the Falcons could be good, could win that NFC South. I'm going to take the Falcons in this spot, lay the 2.5. Desmond Ridder, this defense is playing at a really high level. Yeah, I don't love it because it's not what I would normally do, but I will take the Falcons minus 2.5. This play, I was over this play. I almost bet this next game during the Monday night game of last week because I thought this was just such a perfect spot. The Green Bay Packers stink, right? We bet them last week, lost. Could have been close, couldn't get the job done against a bad Denver team. But the Vikings are coming off a massive win at home on national TV. Everybody loves the Vikings now. Kirk Cousins is great. Did you see Jordan Addison? This defense flying around. They beat the 49ers. Vikings are legit. Hey, they've only had a couple of one-score losses. Nah. This is a classic letdown spot. Packers stink. Vikings are great. Packers at home, nobody's going to take them. I like the Packers here in this game. This is a classic letdown spot for Minnesota. Dalton Risner, he's an offensive lineman for the Vikings, was pretty much in tears after the game. They were ecstatic. This was a Minnesota team that was kind of on the brink of their season being over. They get a win. Now they go to Green Bay. It's just so easy. Just go to Green Bay and win. They're not any good. Not that easy. I think Matt LaFleur gets the guys ready. I think this is a bounce back spot for Green Bay. Look, Brock Purdy hasn't played well. He was concussed. They were missing some guys on the offense. Jordan Addison intercepts or takes a pass for a touchdown that should have been an interception. A lot of breaks went Minnesota's way, and 49ers played bad. Don't all of a sudden think that the Vikings are good. I don't think they are. I will take the home underdog. Give me Green Bay to bounce back at home, get the win. It's ugly. I love it. I love the Packers +1. It's a classic letdown spot. We've gone to this well before, and we'll do it again. I'll say that. Texans -3 at the winless Carolina Panthers. I understand Panthers coming off a bye. They are changing their offensive play caller. Sure. They've had weeks to prepare, all of those things. I just think that the Texans are a better team. I think you're getting a better coach. I think you're getting the better quarterback. I just like what the Texans are doing. I don't think that they go and take this game lightly. I think they still have a chance to win that division. I don't think they go into Carolina taking it lightly. I always like good coaches off of buys. I think DeMeco Ryans is a good coach. We will see how his team responds after a bye, but I only got to lay 3. I know there are a couple 3.5s out there. If you can buy the 0.5 point, I would. I think that's what I'm going to do. I will take the Texans -3. I just like their offense. There could be a lot of points in this one, but I just like what CJ Stroud is doing. We've bet on the Texans before. We will do it again. Next, these next 2 plays, don't think, just throw. We've heard me say that before on this. Chiefs -7 at Broncos. Yes, the Broncos beat the Packers. The Broncos defense stinks. But everybody's like, well, they held the Packers to only, 17 points. Packers laid an egg. This is a Denver team that has really given up over 36 points a game. I know we get skewed by the 70 points that Miami put up against them, but Patrick Mahomes has never lost to the Broncos. All of these things, I just don't think they take this Broncos team lightly. Sean Payton stinks. They just don't lose to Denver, and I think they'll win by more than a touchdown. There's not a whole lot of logic else that goes into that. The Chiefs are top 5 in pretty much every category, every major category of offense, defense, and special teams. They're a really good team. They're playing at a really high level. The end. And finally, or 2 more plays. Ravens, -9.5. This you maybe consider this chasing the money, because I was all over the Lions and I got my teeth kicked in last week. I don't think there's a letdown here. The Ravens have already had 2 letdown losses earlier this year, and I think finally John Harbaugh says, hey, you don't take your foot off the gas. They're getting healthier at the right time. They just demolished the Lions, and again, I still think the Lions are a really good team, and if you didn't know, Lamar Jackson is dominant against the NFC. 16-1 in his career straight up against the NFC. I just like this spot. For all that we thought that Arizona was early in the year, they covered their first 3 games against the spread, and everybody's like, maybe the Cardinals are frisky. They're not. They stink. They've lost their last 4 games by an average margin of victory of over 15 points. They're not very good. The Ravens are. They can't let their foot off the gas here in a really tight AFC North division. Can't let your foot off the gas. Very tight here. They go into Arizona, win by 10 points. Not an issue, like the Ravens, -9.5. And finally, my favorite play of the week, maybe my favorite bet of the season. I am 3-4 on my best bets for the year, but I've never liked one more than I think I like this one. I love the Colts this week. I love the Colts. I can't stress it enough. The Colts are taking on the Saints at home. The Saints have a whole bunch of issues. Dennis Allen is a really bad head coach. On top of that, Chris Olave gets arrested for speeding. I don't know how much of a distraction that is, but that just seems like a locker room and a team that doesn't know what the heck they're doing. Derek Carr is too afraid to throw the ball down the field. All of these things. The Colts and Shane Steichen are a good football team, and they're a fun football team. And even without Anthony Richardson, this team competes. I respect that. They went toe-to-toe with the Browns last week. Everybody had the under. Everybody had the under. What did I tell you? 98% of the money was on the under. We took the over. I may be the Colts whisperer. And I know Gardner Minshew hasn't been great as a starter. He's been this great backup coming into games. I think he's figuring it out. That team, Zach Moss running the ball well. I kind of like what they have with Josh Downs, all these things. Minshew mania, I'm not sure about that, but they played tough. On top of it, they went toe-to-toe with the Browns, who I think are a pretty good team. And I don't know if you saw this, but Jim Irsay tweeted out that Anthony Richardson had this successful surgery. And he said the NFL reached out to him and told him that they messed up and had an incorrect call, pass interference call at the end of the game. The Colts are feeling like they got robbed. The Colts feel like they got robbed at home against the Browns last week. And I think they come out with their hair on fire and win this game. I think they win this game outright. I think they may win it by 10 points because this is a younger team trying to prove themselves with a rookie head coach. And I think they walk into this field going, we went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the conference, and we'll show it again. The NFL took a win away from us. That's how I feel about this game. I love this game. I think they have energy, and to get them to be a home underdog, I love it. And another thing for you, another reason why I love this game, sometimes I talk about the Action Network and the money and the tickets and the money, all these things. Here's one for you. The Colts are only getting 36% of the bets. So only 36% of the people are betting on the Colts. But they're getting 65% of the money. That means big money is coming in on the Colts. I love it. It's the sharp play. Everybody does. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me. I love the Colts here. I love the Colts. All right, so there it is. We already are 2-1 on the week. We already had 3 plays on Thursday night. Half a point away from sweeping that. 8 more plays. Dolphins team total over 28.5. Steelers plus 2.5. No, Steelers plus 2 at home against the Jags. Falcons minus 2.5 at Tennessee. Packers stinky plus 1 at home against the Vikings. Texans minus 3 at Carolina. Chiefs minus 7. Ravens minus 9.5. Colts plus 1.5. Our best bet of the week. Again, Uncle Dan's best bets. Proud to be sponsored by Incognito Menswear. The where I'm getting my suits, anything, prom, wedding, whatever you need, They're great there. I really appreciate them coming on board and doing all these things. Like, comment, subscribe in your best play of the week. Again, entering this week, we were still 28, 27, and 1. Kind of got our teeth kicked in the week before. We bounced back. Again, love the board this week. I love the board this week. Love the board this week. Comment in with your favorite play because we're all about sharing winners here. Again, I appreciate it as always. Thank you so much for following along. We'll catch you next time here on Uncle Dan's Best Bets, brought to you by Incognito Menswear.